Welcome to the Twatface podcast. That's the world according to football and cheese experts. Just a word of warning, there might be some swearing. Hi, Phil.
Good evening, Mike. How you doing?
Living the dream, as always. How are you?
Warm in this unseasonal climate. Depending on when you're listening to this podcast, of course, it could be raining by the time this comes out.
Yes, in our little sweatbox cubby holes of recording heaven.
Marvellous. So, no messing around. We've got a guest today. We've got Nikolai with us to talk about England/Belgium. So, Nikolai, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Nikolai. I support Leeds, and national team-wise, I support both England and Belgium, since I have a parent from each nation.
So, you've got a parent from each nation. Is it disappointment from both nations then, really?
I mean, yeah, historically, yeah, pretty much. It's been pretty rough going, really. Belgium for a long time were pretty bad, and then had a really good. Well, it was, I think, still in the very good patch, but still sort of like England, very much underperforming when it matters.
Well, before we muse on that, we'll take a journey into your disappointment. What's your first tournament memory? What's the first tournament you can remember really watching?
Oh, easy. USA '94. That's the year that I sort of my mind flipped, and I became interested in football. Before that, there was nothing, and then all of a sudden, football arrived, and England, of course, weren't in that tournament, but Belgium very much were, and I lived in Belgium at the time, so it was big time excitement.
How did Belgium get on in USA '94? Memories failing there.
Yeah, no. Belgium got through the group stage, got into the next round, and came up against Germany. And in a move that would set me up for future disappointment, we lost to Germany, and probably should have had a penalty in the game that didn't get. So I was very much set up for future disappointments for
Germany prepping you for 2 years time.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
And who were your star men in that tournament? Who do you remember?
Josip Weber was the guy that should have got a penalty against Germany. He was like the striker, and I remember because I always played defender when I played football as a kid. And I lived in Bruges, and the team there, the team that I would, if I had to choose a Belgian side, it was Club Bruges. And there was a player called Lorenzo Starlens, and he was a defender, and he was sort of my favourite, weirdly. So that would be my. The goalie back then as well was Jean-Michel Prudhomme, who I think went on to manage Belgium as well. He was a good one. He was a good one to watch.
And they have better names than English, better than David Seaman. I loved how you just pronounced the keeper's name there.
Yeah.
So, Belgium disappointments. How many disappointments have you had with Belgium?
Well, I mean, if you count not ever winning, then all of them. Right?
Everyone, yeah.
Same.
But we always talk about, as England fans, Euro '96 being that golden summer and how we really enjoyed that tournament. So it can't be all doom and gloom for Belgium also, surely.
I mean, so I think in terms of Belgium, 2018 was the one that sort of got away, which is weird because obviously England also, so both England and Belgium got to the semi-finals on opposite sides of the bracket.
Thank goodness for you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't, because I was terrified that England and Belgium will get through to the final. That was like my worst nightmare, because I thought, if no matter who wins, I'm going to feel the loss more than I feel the win, I think. But then my second worst thing happened, and neither got through. So I think that was the big, because that was like England, Belgium had their golden generation, and 2018 was like the peak of it, really. And they lost to France 1-0, I think. And it just felt like that was it. And then the last World Cup, Belgium didn't even get out of the group, and it was just, it was brutal. It was just cut off, really. So So that was so my dad is my Belgian parent, and he's very adamant that 2018 was the chance, and I think a lot of Belgians would agree. So that would be the one really that got away.
So what's the feeling in Belgium about the World Cup coming up, with that golden generation coming to an end? De Bruyne, a few injury worries. You got Lukaku and Courtois that aren't getting any younger.
Yeah, I think they're the only three that remain. I mean, I would very much, as Englishmen yourselves, this is like the post-golden generation of England now, where we're sort of, you're picking up pieces. You still got a couple of stragglers that are sort of clinging on, but it's quite new. The sort of qualifying rounds were pretty decent, but maybe a bit unspectacular, except for the Liechtenstein games, which I think aggregate I think Belgium beat them like 13-0. But it's a bit bitty, it's a bit harder than it should be, that kind of classic England thing of like, we got through, but it wasn't that great really, and it could have been better. I think it's very much in that area.
So more sort of workmanlike rather than flair.
Yeah. I don't think we have a lot of. I mean, does Doku, who is maybe the most flair player now, because obviously Hazard long gone now. Yeah.
The Guardian described Doku as exciting chaos winger on the podcast, but the one podcast I did in some prep for this.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people know Doku now because he plays for Man City, and I think he's a bit of an odd one because he is obviously very good, but also still a little bit, he's not maybe quite firing on all cylinders all the time. It's a bit hit and miss. When he hits, he hits, but sometimes maybe goes a bit missing.
So is there anybody? Oh, sorry, Phil.
No, go on, Mike. Carry on.
Is there anybody in the squad? So obviously Doku is inconsistent, but when he hits, he really does hit. Is there anybody in the squad who you think is going to be a bit of a dark horse and potentially a hero in the wings waiting to shine?
Gosh, I don't know. I think the midfield is pretty decent, and like most of them play in England. So a lot of folks will know, like Onana and Tielemans and Trossard. Like they're pretty solid sort of, and I think it'll be those players rather than maybe the flair types that will kind of get it done. But like Lukaku, I think a lot of people have criticised taking him. But I think he's one of these players that sometimes, just sort of gets it done when, if he gets enough opportunities. I wouldn't be surprised if he's injured now, so if he does get himself fit or get over it, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a couple at least. And I mean De Bruyne as well. I mean, he's only 30-something, 33, something like that. I think he could still pull off one more kind of magnificent pass, right?
Well, the technical ability doesn't tend to deteriorate with age. You just tend to lose that yard of pace, don't you?
Yeah.
So you think he's still got the technical ability to actually create some magic?
I think there's always potential with De Bruyne that he could just pull something out. So in the qualifying games, Belgium played Wales, and Belgium went 3-0 up, and then sort of imploded and let Wales back in to get to 3-3. And I think it was De Bruyne that scored to make it 4-3, like really near the end. So I think he's still, it's still there. And obviously he plays with Lukaku at Napoli. So, I think it's always possible with a player like that they might just pull something out.
How are you feeling about the group? Because Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand, you've got the dodgy game in your group.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be shocked if Belgium didn't get through that. Like, if Belgium didn't get through that, then they don't clearly deserve to be there. Like, it's just, and that's no shade on them, but Belgium is the better team in that group. Unlike England, England's got a harder group, I think, by far. yeah, I'd say we get through that, and I guess I feel like quarterfinals might be the sort of the end game for Belgium.
The expectation for them.
Yeah, and anything there or beyond that would be, I think, pretty decent, really.
So, in terms of Belgium as a squad and as a team, as a nation, who would you say are the natural rivals for the Belgium team? So, England have Germany as a natural rival. Who is the natural rival for Belgium?
So it depends on, I guess, where you're from in Belgium, because the North Flanders speaks Dutch. That's where I'm from, and I think naturally you would say the Netherlands. Whereas Wallonia, the South, speak French, so they might be more inclined with France. And I would say probably Netherlands and France would be because it's that thing of they're the closest in both in culture and geographically, that I think you'd really want to do damage to.
And how do you rate your chances against both of those squads?
I think the Dutch squad isn't like the best they've had in in recent times. I mean, France, obviously, they've done all right recently. So I don't know. We obviously 2018, France did well. They beat England as well. I think they're pretty decent all round. And I don't know if I'd fancy our chances. It's always a chance, obviously, but I think favourites would be probably France to us. But I would expect Belgium to beat the Dutch.
And on that downer, we'll take you to England. So if it's USA 94, your first memory of a tournament, I'm guessing Euro 96 is your first England disappointment.
Yeah, yes it is. Yeah, that was exciting times as well. Yeah,
but
and Belgium wasn't in that one, so it was sort of weird that I kind of flipped immediately.
Gonna have to talk about England squad. Very controversial. Some of it maybe not so controversial with Cole Palmer and Phil Foden. There were a lot of shock that they've not been picked, but on the other hand, they've had terrible seasons, right? And they're only just hitting form.
Yeah, I quite like this from Tuchel. I think, I don't know, I think like people have always gone on about picking form players versus out of form people that always get in, and we finally had a manager that has gone, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. So I feel like, yeah, I think that makes sense. Although obviously there are maybe one or two in there that is maybe dodgier on that ground. So I don't know, swings and roundabouts.
We're back to the England don't have anyone with a left foot regime.
Yeah. What is that? It's so weird, isn't it?
Just you and me in England who are left footed, Nikolai.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe we should go.
It'd be terrible. Terrible.
Would you be worse than Dan Burn?
Yeah, I'm quite happy to say that. I'm pretty certain I would be.
Obviously, Harry Maguire didn't get into the squad. I watched the Dear England Gareth Southgate play that was televised, and forgot how many important goals Maguire scored, actually. You kind of forget his impact sometimes, don't you, on this team? Weirdly, Southgate got pulled a lot for picking Maguire when he wasn't in form, and Tuchel is now getting pulled for dropping him. So you can't win, can you, with the Harry Maguires?
Slabhead, like Pickford, he gets it done, doesn't he, in an England shirt somehow.
And he gets really angry, and we love that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, he's not quite like Terry Butcher, is he? But like, it's sort of Butcher-like kind of vibes.
And we can't lose the Leeds connection, so DCL didn't get picked. Tooney's obviously going. Would you have took Calvert-Lewin, even with your Leeds specs on?
I mean, I'm sort of not surprised that he didn't. I think Tony is a bit of a surprise, though. I don't know. And that one surprised me a bit, but I'm not surprised that DCL didn't, even though he's had a good shout. But I don't know if he quite fits into what Tuchel wants to do, really.
Tuchel's excuse was around if he had to put two strikers on, he thinks Tooney can play with Kane.
Yeah, right. I mean,
not sure I'm buying that, but
yeah, I mean, it's fair. I think DCL would maybe be Kane's sort of understudy maybe, but I just don't see that really either. As much as I've enjoyed DCL this year.
Tooney's undoubtedly talented, but the league that he's been playing in, whilst there's a lot of money in it, the players aren't necessarily at the pinnacle of their careers. So he hasn't necessarily been playing against current world-class opposition. So does that mean that he is going to struggle when he is up against the best defences in the world?
Do we think he's been picked for penalty duty? You know, just a corker of a penalty taker. We've got that in the bag. If we need it, get him on. That's like a guaranteed goal.
If I recall correctly, Tooney was, as a player, quite a bullying centre forward. He was very physical. He would make himself known. He would create spaces. If that's still the case, if he hasn't lost that edge, that strength, then he could clearly hold the ball up and potentially feed Kane or lay it back for one of the long-range strikers from midfield. But again, has he been doing that at the highest level?
He might be a good one to chuck on like right at the end of the game, you know, just to, like you say, hold up the ball, that kind of thing. I could see that.
Tired defence.
Yeah. And again, bullying, like you say, that might work. I can see. You've taught me into it. I can see Tuchel's vision now.
I'm not necessarily part of Tuchel's vision.
You've convinced me. This is all on you. You've convinced me.
So who would you see as Kane's natural partner? In actual fact, if you could pick anybody, because clearly in Germany he's been having an absolute barnstormer of a season. But again, he's in Germany, and the German top flight are great, but there's a lot of lower quality teams still in the top flight. So is he going to be able to perform against the best defences in the world? And if he does, who's his strike partner going to be?
I think Kane can. I think he's just quality, isn't it? But I think with Southgate, we didn't always use Kane to his best sort of. What we didn't play into what he wanted to do, or at least we had other players like Foden and Bellingham and even Saka who all sort of want to be where he wants to be, which sort of like is like, well, don't do that. Whereas I think Tuchel's sort of giving him a bit more space, and we're back to sort of maybe wider players again. But I don't know if I'd give him a strike partner exactly. You just want people to be able to run past him, into spaces that he can either create or pass into, because he's obviously great at that as well. And then he can run into the box as well, just as long as he's not on corners anymore.
Cheers, Roy. Yeah. Is Tuchel too pragmatic? Is it too boring, or do we care?
I don't know, man. I think Southgate was maybe too pragmatic, but obviously he got us to 2 finals. But I think it lacked that sort of little bit of a bite at the end, and I do think Tuchel might have that. I feel like he's got a bit more of the killer instinct. I don't think Southgate would have like omitted Foden, and I think he has got that in him a little bit more. So I don't think he's too pragmatic. But I think he very much has a system in mind and a way he wants to play, and he's going for that. And I think at the very least, I think that is a better way of doing things. And to be fair, Southgate had that as well. He had a way he wanted to play, and I think that's what it should be. You know, you've got a vision, you're going for it, and it's like, well, fair enough. Like that's what's needed. I think whether it works, obviously, is another matter.
So how are we feeling about the World Cup? We've got Croatia, Panama, and Ghana to enjoy in the group stages. We're going to easily get out of that group?
I mean, I think obviously Croatia is the toughie in it. Panama, weirdly, managed by former Leeds United manager Thomas Christiansen. There's a few ex-Leeds managers. We've got Jesse Marsh at Canada as well, and obviously Bielsa, hallowed be his name, at Uruguay. But I mean, surely Panama, right? I mean, if that would be insane, surely. And Ghana, Ghana's I think a bit of a dark horse. I don't really know much about Ghana, their team at all, so I don't know. But I think I'd be most worried about Croatia because obviously they did us in 2018.
Yeah, coming back to bite us again.
Mm.
I guess the question is, can England win the World Cup? I'm not going to say the other thing from the song because I'm tired of that sentence.
Yeah, sure. Fair. I mean, I want to believe, right? I want to believe that either team of mine can. I mean, and it is possible. I think they're both decent enough teams. I think Belgium, like England, just never have that little bit of luck or that bit of extra, that sort of like teams like France, Italy, Germany, have that extra little bit. But
And
yeah,
who would you say what would be the ideal final if the England was to get to a final? Who would you like to see them up against?
I mean, France, Germany, like I'd hesitate to say Spain because I'd be too terrified of them, I think. But like I'd want a a big team. I think it'd be nicer to be a team where it's unequivocal that you have earned the final. None of this we had an easy path nonsense. I want a big team.
You'd see a Western European final potentially, though.
I think it's more exciting just because of the history. I mean, I'm happy to beat anyone in a final, but I think it's more exciting like a France or a Germany. I think it just adds a little bit extra for us.
Yeah, because the cop out is saying, "Oh, I want Jordan in the final."
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean,
but then again, if they've got to the final,
yeah, again,
they're going
I'm
to be playing well.
More than happy to beat any team in the final. Heck, Scotland would be great as well. Actually, that'd be fantastic.
Or potentially unbearable.
Well, yeah, but come on, man, come on. I think we'd have to back ourselves.
And I think for the last question, what I've got to ask you is, does the tournament feel like a big deal to you yet? Does it feel like it's less than 2 weeks away now?
No, it doesn't. I feel like it always sort of creeps up on me. Obviously, it's like a big entity looming in the distance, but I think until like a couple of days before, it's not really ever properly in my mind until like I know I've got the opening game to have a look at. So not yet. Simmering.
It's because you're not a child anymore getting your Panini stickers. I think
know.
you bought yourself a sticker album.
I've not got the old bracket thing on the wall. Not a poster.
No wall chart.
Yeah, exactly. None of that these days.
How many games are you going to watch though? How many are you going to be able to see?
Because the late kickoffs. Usually I will try and watch as many as I can. Obviously, politically, a little bit dodged this year, like the last one, and in fact 2018 as well. It's been a bit of a rough go World Cup wise, hasn't it? So I am probably not going to do that this year, sadly.
Well, on that note, we'll bid you farewell. We may pull you back in as the tournament progresses, depending on how well England / Belgium do.
Yeah, grand.
So we will catch up with you then. Thank you very much.
You're all welcome. Thank you all.
Cheers, Nikolai.
Bye.
Bye.
There you have it, Mike. England and Belgium.
Yeah. Are you starting to get that feeling?
I'm not going to say the 3 words. But yeah, I'm starting to get excited. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's just nice to watch a lot of football, isn't it? I mean, it's a bit of a shame for us at the timings, but yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't think our group's too terrible. You never know with England, do you?
Well, that's it. I remember Ghana actually from the South Africa World Cup because they were Black Stars, and they had one of the better theme songs actually, because that was the year that Shakira did the theme song. But Ghana had their own theme song as well, and I thought that was actually a better one for the tournament. So yeah, it's they're a battling African team, so you can't write them off. Croatia have got some stars and some real talent. Panama, I've never seen any of them play, so I don't know.
On that note, we'll see you next time.
Looking forward to it.